Joined by Patrick Janssens, immediately after the victory, a fabulous Azuri yesterday at Toaster in the Bet365 Empress Stakes. Patrick, you got it right on the day. She had to return to her best, did she not? And she certainly appeared to have done so.
Yeah, she did. You know what I mean? I thought she's been running well all the time, really. But I don't want to disrespect no one's dog. But when she ran at Henlow in the British bred Oaks, the standard of the dog wasn't as good as in the Empress Stakes. So, and when she went to the Empress Stakes and she won the first round, and it was only a 4-dog race, I believe, and she won well. But then she sort of fell a bit in a dip, and I knew because she was only sort of 13 weeks then. So now yesterday she was sort of 16 weeks, so she was spot on. And I think the draw helped as well. She wasn't trap free. That's where she wants to be in 1, 2, or 3 sort of thing, and closer to the rail. She's been drawn in 4 and 5, and she broke sort of levelish, and she showed it early to the bend, and she's got devastating middle pace, and yeah, she won well. It was a good competition. It was great to win.
Yes, definitely. I take it will be the Oaks, will it now?
Over the Oaks, yeah, next Thursday.
And obviously, it's been a very good year for Dave Firmager as a breeder. I notice he's got some flying machines in Ireland as well at the moment, hasn't he? It's 2 or 3 different litters.
Yeah, I had one here as well, and that was a bit unfortunate, really. I had Romeo Top Cat, he won his maiden, and I had a sister as well, Fabulous Lynx. She won the first round of the Empress Stakes, and then I had a dog, Romeo Command. I think he's very special. But then, with the cancellation of the puppy competition there at Sheffield, they're supposed to be in October. He would have been named for that, and the puppy derby at Toaster. So now I know there's a puppy derby or a puppy competition at Oxford, but see, these dogs, they wouldn't suit Oxford. They are for 500 metre greyhounds. They're not 450 dogs. They'll get hurt there. So Dave sent them back, and he's running in the juvenile derby there now at Shelbourne Park under Graham Holland, and he's a very fast dog as well. Yeah, yes, several very good dogs at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a lot of discussion at the moment about the open race calendar, but you've made a very good point there. I mean, you can have a clash, even though they're not so far apart geographically, between Oxford and Toaster for public competitions, because you want 2 entirely different types of dogs, don't you?
Totally different type of dogs, and see, if you take them dogs there, all they're going to do is get hurt. You know what I mean? Because they can't go with them dogs to the bend. They'll bust their gut. It's not, when you see the thing for me is always try to buy dogs for the greyhound derby, or you know what I mean, we stay 500 meters or minimum 480. I don't really want the short running type. If I end up with one, that's fine. You know what I mean? We do our best with him, but really the aim is to get that 500 meter dog, and that Romeo Commander, Romeo Top Cat, they are definitely that type of dog.
Yeah, which are the I wanted to talk to you about your own litter. In terms of your kind of your 21 whelps coming through, who do you fancy for next year?
I don't think they're very good, and there's the honest opinion. There might be one bitch in there who could stay sort of a marathon or something like that, but to be honest, they're a bit disappointing.
We're talking about the Sandy litter, yeah?
Yeah. They started off very well, schooled very well, but they never progressed really. So, listen, they won races, but they're only around the 30, 50, 30, 40 mark. They're not really going down in time, but they're young. They might become some more, but I fear the worst.
Okay, so who's the best pup in the kennel?
The best pup in the kennel at the moment, I would say, it's between Romeo Top Cat and Norse Perfetto. Norse Perfetto, she was bought, we bought them off the lady who was there, Crafty Kokora. She had the first race yesterday for us. She's a March 21. And she done 29.33. They gave her plus 20. That was the first race for us, and she stays very strong as well. She's going to have a trial at Perry Bar for the Oaks. I know she's young, but she be the biggest aim for her is the Puppy Oaks, really. You know what I mean? What comes up in November, but she looks very good on what I saw yesterday. She keeps improving from every trial. She starts sort of 30 seconds, 29.80, 29.50s. So she done 29.33 yesterday. So she's going the right way.
Definitely. And I've got to ask you about Shadow. What's the for him now?
He's very good. You're gonna give him a week off or something, or maybe 2, and then I don't know really what to do. I'm in 2 minds going for the Kent Derby, or I see at Oxford they have a competition as well. but we'll have a discussion with the owners and go from there. Yeah, he come out of the race well. He's in good form, and yeah, so he'll be out soon.
In terms of Shadow, I mean, do you think you'll get the 480 at Central Park?
I think he will. See, the other day, he missed his break completely. He showed so much pace to the bend. Then he's a typical sort. I know he's 2 years old, but he runs like a headless chicken, really, like a young dog. He tries to go on the inside. There is no gap on the inside. He jumps over the dog's back. Then he cut back in at the second bend. Then he shows all that sort of pace down the back straight. He done his running to get to the front, and he blows up. That's basically it. You know what I mean? So, but from the front, he'd be a different dog. And if you have a more experienced dog and he goes to that first bend, he probably hold himself in a bit and makes his move of the second bend. But he's got to learn. I still think the absolute world of the dog. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I would probably go. It might go Oxford, might go Kent Derby. We don't know yet.
Okay. I mean, in the one consolation that you've got is that it wasn't as though Mark's dog has won in sort of 28 dead, has he? I mean, Mark's dog has done a very decent time, and Shadow has given away, what, 4, 5, 6 lengths in running?
Yeah, listen, Mark won fair and square, and well done to him, and well done to Nick Gill and everything. But I think that Shadow is, honestly, I really do think he is the real deal. I really do. And yes, at the moment he's not very strong over 480 or 500 meters and this and that. But I think when he comes next year and he's coming up to 3 years old, he'll get that.
Yeah, I guess his big downfall is the fact that when these young dogs are so fast and so precocious, there's kind of no learning curve for them, is there? I mean, he won the race at Tralee in almost like a solo.
Yeah,
and he's coming up against good experienced dogs with very little experience on his own side to be able to cope.
Yeah, he does. And what happens is as well with these dogs is, see, they don't trap. They got very good early, but they don't trap. So when you have them experienced, so they trap in front of them, then suddenly they get sort of worked and they go raw to that bend. They don't think, you know what I mean? They don't think. But anyway, listen, that's dog racing. That's how it goes. You got to get on with it and this and that. And listen, I still think he'll be a tremendous dog for the future.
And apart from the Oaks, anything else in line open race wise coming up?
Not really. Latara is on the sideline. Dearly Frank is coming back. Latara really want him back for the end of the year for the Olympic. I think at Hove there, that's more like his track. And the Droop is good dog. He absolutely loves Romford. He runs very well there. There's a competition coming up there. He might go to Oxford as well later. You know what I mean? So now we got sort of a good dog. We've been sort of now. We're sort of in the middle of buying new dogs for next year, really. There's a few we moved on and for next year's derby, really. You know what I mean? We got a few good ones, but we want to have a few more, really.
Who's left the kennel?
Who's left the kennel? I think Crossfield Dusty then, because he broke his hook. He's back with Brendan. He's going to cover a few bitches and probably these puppies, they won't be here much longer. I think, they just, they make A1 dogs. That's it, so they won't be up in class. And then, your Aussie captains, they're coming near the end, they're coming up to 4 years old. And we just have to see how that goes. He trialled well yesterday at Central Park. He's going for the Kent Derby and everything. But, see, he's getting 4 years old, They lose a bit of early, they lose a bit of this, then they get in trouble, and then suddenly you're in trouble with the dogs.